علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا. اللهم نور قلوبنا بعلمك واستعمل أبداننا لطاعتك ووفقنا لما تحب وترضى من قول والعمل والفعل والنية والهدى إنك على كل شيء قدير. يا الله يا وهاب يا فتاح، يا الله يا وهاب يا فتاح، يا الله يا وهاب يا فتاح. ما بعد, I request everyone inshallah who can stay a few minutes, please do stay. Inshallah, we've got something really exciting today to share with the community, and vast majority of us are not aware of what is being unveiled here. And I think this would be of huge interest to every one of us, inshallah, sitting here, because this has ramifications way beyond the four walls of this masjid. And alhamdulillah, of course, it has effect for those who are here as well. And I would like to, inshallah, tabarak wa ta'ala, share with you tonight a brand new project, alhamdulillah, that's been in the pipeline for the past few months. And today is the official release of it to the community, inshallah, tabarak wa ta'ala. Beloved brothers and sisters, beloved friends, alhamdulillah, 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 we have so many beautiful Muslim brothers and sisters all across the country who are working in different fields. And there isn't a field probably in which we do not see at a higher level of leadership Muslims present. And alhamdulillah, they are excelling in those various fields. But what has become quite apparent to anyone who spends a few minutes studying is that when it comes to the Islamic identity within the Muslim workforce, and within the Muslim upper echelon of society, that identity, unfortunately, is not where it needs to be. Let's be very honest. You have different faith groups, and I don't know if you want to call them faith groups, cultural groups out there, who have nothing to do with a faith or religion, but there's an identity. And that identity is so strong that no matter where that person belonging to that fraternity, if I can call it that, wherever he finds himself, at the top of a Ivy League school, he finds himself at the top echelons of government, he finds himself in a bank, he finds himself in a driver license bureau, he finds himself in a school, he finds himself in some other place. He has this vision that I have to ensure my people succeed. And I have to make sure that we work together to ensure for the best for our community is actualized, if you get what I'm saying. But when it comes to the Muslim community, there seems a huge disconnect. I had an opportunity of visiting, on a tour of Mayo Clinic, and one of the, mashallah, extremely successful physicians out there, surgeons, he took me for a tour. And in the process of that, he showed me all the names of the Muslims whose names were on the walls. Not only the walls of heads of departments, but also on the walls of the donors list. What type of donors are we speaking about here? 10 million, I don't think even made it onto that wall. I remember seeing Muslim names at the $250 million level. You heard that right. Not 250,000, $250 million level. And you walk around and you say, wow, we own this place. Who's coming to get treatment? The wealthiest of Muslims across the globe. Who's performing the surgeries? Muslims. Right? Who's in every department? Muslims. But subhanAllah, when October 7th came around, we saw that Muslims, it seemed like, didn't even exist. We're like a cockroach that you have a lot of them, but everyone hates them. They have no significance, and you destroy them. The Muslims in the fabric of the Muslim community, in American society, what status, what place do they have? And it seemed like those wealthy people still exist amongst us. Those extremely well-to-do and well-connected people still exist. Many of them have gone silent. Many of them, in order to make their business go forward, have decided to, change their ways and so forth. But if you travel around this country, I promise you, you will be shocked to see the level of wealth of the Muslim American community, the level of education of the American Muslim community, the level of connections of the Muslim American community. What is lacking is the Islamic identity. And I think if you spend a couple of minutes thinking about what I just said, you will realize that this is the truth. And this is one of the main reasons why we cannot stand for ourselves. Why we are getting butchered across the world, and in this community as well, in the United States. When so many issues arise against the Muslim community, we have to find alliances with people who are not belonging to our faith. Alliances with people who don't see eye to eye in majority of things. But it's hard to find alliances within our own people. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is where the American Muslim Fund, a project of Darus Salam Foundation, comes about. This is hopefully one of the solutions to this massive problem that the American Muslim community is facing. And namely, the solution, as I go through the slides, in one nutshell is to produce well-grounded, strong Muslim identity carrying professionals in every field. And the goal is in the next 10 to 15 years that we will have thought leaders all across this country, hundreds of men and women who have their Islamic identity very strongly impressed upon them, and at the same time they are doing very well for themselves in the world. And when they move forward, it's not them moving forward, it's the entire Muslim community and ummah moving forward. How do we go about that? I'll show this inshallah in the next few slides over here. What are some of the challenges that every one of us sitting here listening to me face? That we have become consumers of the blessings of this country. And unfortunately, many times, although we may be contributors, but the Islamic part of that doesn't become apparent. That a Muslim, practicing Muslim is contributing to this. We are seeing that, subhanAllah, the Muslim representation versus Islamic representation. That there might be Muslims who are, I remember long ago, I read it like 20 years ago. There was an article in Chicago Tribune of a multi-million-dollar artwork that was left in a taxi. And the taxi driver brought it back and this is before, obviously we had smartphones. So he made a big effort, long effort to find out where that person was and located him and returned it back. MashaAllah, second page of Tribune was his picture and a huge long interview. And I was just waiting for it to say, subhanAllah, it's the Islamic ideals, the Islamic value system, which made this taxi driver go and make the effort and return this multi-million-dollar, was a piece of art, or there's actually multiple stories, piece of art as well as a jewelry bag that a jewelry salesman had. But you don't see that. Islam never makes it. It just happens to be Muhammad, Ahmad, Khadija, Fulan, whatever. But the aspect of Islam, that it's because of Islamic teachings, mashallah, this man did that, it never comes to light. And then what we have, the third issue, every one of us is facing as dads and moms. How do we send our children to college? The student debt crisis. Those who've already graduated, they're sitting with multi-$100,000 loans. And there are many who don't worry. Let's leave about those who don't care about interest. For those of us sitting here, mashallah, in the month of Ramadan, you're doing i'tikaf, you're in the masjid, you care about not having to pay back interest in your loans. You care to try to get your sons and daughters educated without having to pay an interest-bearing loan. I know we all do. But the solution, subhanAllah, is what sometimes seems very far away. So what we have, alhamdulillah, the mission of the American Muslim Fund is to support and produce highly successful professionals grounded in traditional Islamic knowledge who will then make groundbreaking contributions in the fields where Muslims are currently underrepresented. So Muslims, there are many fields we can work on, but alhamdulillah, there are certain fields we already have a lot of Muslims there. But there are many extremely important fields where there's no Muslims representing there. Our vision is creating an ecosystem of ethically and traditionally rooted Muslim professionals leading across diverse industries and driving transformative societal changes. This is, inshallah, tabarak wa ta'ala, the goal of the American Muslim Fund. What are some of the underrepresented areas? Government and politics is obvious to all of us. Media and journalism, academia and think tanks, education and school systems, law and judiciary, and leadership and entrepreneurship. Notice medicine is not mentioned over here. Okay. But there are, alhamdulillah, that's, alhamdulillah, where we see a lot of Muslims going in. But these are some of those fields where we see, and not only do we see Muslim underrepresentation, we are all feeling, now I won't call it the pinch, we're feeling the axe. We're feeling the axe because of not having anyone in the newsroom, in the media room, speaking on behalf of us. Not having anyone who can contribute to the policy paper by which governments make decisions. Not having someone on a bench of judges. Not having someone who is a frontline teacher at a public school or a public college or a private college, subhanAllah, representing the Islamic viewpoint on issues. What are the requirements and the criteria of this fund? Right? First of all, we're looking within our community, such young men and women who have a very clear intention to enter one of the underrepresented fields. Because why? They don't care about themselves as much as they care about the ummah. When they make a decision of what they're going to study, the driving force for that is, what does the ummah need? Not just what my stomach needs, the stomach's needs will also be fulfilled, no doubt about it. None of these things are such that inshallah, your risk will not be provided. Allah has already destined our risk before we came here. Number two, a vision statement will be required by the student to submit a written plan outlining how you plan and how you aim to create a game-changing impact in your chosen industry. Number three would be the academic acceptance, that a person has to be accepted in a recognized university in the United States. Once a person fulfills this three criteria, then they will have to get the number two part, which is enroll in our Tanweer program here at Darus Salam, which we've been running for the past 13 years. And a person will have to get references from the community leaders, imams, etc., mentors, to say this boy or this girl truly has what it takes to succeed. And then complete the entire 11-month program with a minimum final grade of 90%. And if you meet any of the Tanweer students here, ask them, alhamdulillah, and I am positive they'll tell you to get a 90%, you really have to work harder than you probably ever did in college. So it is a very demanding and aggressive course. But if you want to go change the world, you better learn how to study. And you better be studious. And you better have a great work ethic to be able to do that. Once a person has completed the Tanweer intensive, then a person will gonna have to pursue leadership roles and make significant contributions, inshallah, within that chosen field. Along with that, a person will have to dedicate time and effort to serve the Muslim community, particularly in youth initiatives. And that is the issue. We have infrastructure being built, but we do not have the proper human resources to lead the path. Alhamdulillah, we are going to be partnering up for this fund, the American Muslim Fund, with a well-known, recognized organization in the country known as a continuous charity. They've had previous fundraisers here in the past years. Alhamdulillah, they've been around here for over a decade. And alhamdulillah, their representatives have flown from out of state just before Isha to join us here today. They will be the front end of this American Muslim Fund, because Darus Salam doesn't have the means to take care of all of these things. We have the means of educating those who you have chosen to come and send them over here. We have the means, inshallah, to prepare and nurture those thought leaders from the Muslim American community who have a vision and a passion to serve Islam first and then serve themselves second. Who have a passion to serve the Muslim community first before they serve themselves. We are, alhamdulillah, blessed to have a world-class institution here with, mashallah, tabarak wa ta'ala, around 60 staff members who are full-time and another 60 who are part-time. That's our job. We will, inshallah, work with our amazing staff to create these future leaders. What we need the community is, number one, present yourself, that I'm ready. I'm 19, I'm 20, I'm bubbling with ideas, I'm 16, I've got great talent, I've got great ideas. Let me get a chance at this. Number two, all of those who are sitting here, what we'll be asked to do is invest in these future thought leaders from the Muslim community who are not just going to make millions, but rather are going to make millions for the ummah, who are just not going to make decisions for themselves, but are going to make decisions that are going to be favorable for the ummah. And I think what I'm sharing with you, hopefully, is quite obvious, the importance of this, that this is something long overdue for our community. There are maybe many other efforts taking place, and we have no comment on that. May Allah reward them, whoever is doing, wherever they're doing. This is something that Darus Salam has chosen to make a part of our initiative, that we cannot care for only our masjid, our local community. We have been sent with a responsibility to look out for the ummah. And we are going to ask all of you to seriously join us in this journey for caring for the ummah. I'm going to ask our representative, inshallah, from the Continuous Charity to present exactly what Continuous Charity does and how today this landmark, mashallah, a memorandum of understanding that's been signed between Darus Salam and Continuous Charity. A landmark partnership between DS and CC, right? Between Darus Salam and Continuous Charity will, inshallah, tabarak wa ta'ala, change the trajectory of the Muslim community. Say, inshallah. We already have students who've graduated the Tanweer program, and those who are currently in the Tanweer program who have applied to Continuous Charity, waiting. I just wrote a reference letter last week for someone. I don't know if you received that. I don't know who receives that. But subhanAllah, amazing Tanweer grads at the top of their class. At the top of their class. But they're going to medical school, or they're going to law school, or they're going to engineer school, and they do not want to pay interest. And so they are looking for a way to be able to get a debt-free education. This is where you have an opportunity to invest. And what that investment, it's not a one-time investment. How does that one-time investment, I'm sorry, it's not a yearly investment that you have to keep on giving. But inshallah, our brother here will explain how even a one-time donation, inshallah, will be a long-lasting charity. Bismillah.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wa mursalin amma ba'd. It was the greatest day of this young man's life. He received a letter from Harvard Law School, the top law program in the entire country, that mashallah, you've been accepted into the law program. This young Muslim did 2 years of Harvard Law, and then October 7th happened. Because he believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he loves this deen and his brothers and sisters around the world, he was the one who organized the biggest protest at Harvard's campus, calling on that university to divest in the Zionist state of Israel and to stop funding the genocide. What was his reward? What was his consequence? This young man from Pakistan, our son, he lost his $50,000 a year scholarship to Harvard University. In addition, he was a clerk at the local judge and they fired him from that job. And if that wasn't bad enough, this young man was charged criminally for trespassing on the Harvard campus where he was living, paying tuition, and practicing his so-called First Amendment constitutional right. When a continuous charity, when I learned about what happened, we were, alhamdulillah, able to support this young man's education. He graduated law school, and now he's going to become a shield for the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in America. Takbir. A continuous charity is a charity that I'm so proud of. 12 years ago, I got to start this charity with my good friend, Dr. Atar Haq. When we started this charity, we started with a simple idea. Let's go in the Muslim community, raise money, give that money as interest-free, qard, hasna, loans to our brothers and sisters going through the highest levels of education. As those students pay back their loans, we recycle that money and loan it again and again and again, becoming a sadaqah jariyah, or a continuous charity. I started with $60,000 helping 5 students. Now, with the help of Allah alone, we've gone from $60,000 to $9.5 million in interest-free education loans. Takbir. Takbir. We went from 5 students to 709 students. And the number I want each and every one of us to memorize right here is we have saved the ummah in America over $5.5 million in riba, in interest, if these students would have continued paying off their educational loans. Why can't we expand the Dar es Salaam Masjid? Why can't we build our Islamic schools? Why can't we pay our imams? Why can't we help our brothers and sisters in Gaza more? Because all of us here, in our own families and our brothers and sisters and extended families, all of us have educational loans and debt that's taking riba and sucking the barakah and the blessing out of our community. My brothers and sisters, tonight, in this blessed masjid, on this blessed Jummah, on these last 10 nights of Ramadan, we are here for a noble cause, to raise money for the American Muslim Fund, to invest in the education of students like that Harvard graduate, like the students in this Tanweer program, to invest in their education. By doing so, change the world that we live in. My brothers and sisters, the average loan a continuous charity gives is $25,000 to an individual student. Tonight, in just the last few minutes that we have, our brothers and sisters are going to go around passing out our donation cards. We're looking to raise money to fund the political scientists, fund the journalists, fund the lawyers, fund the academics, fund the education system, and fund our next leaders. My brothers and sisters, with the few minutes that we have, is there a brother here tonight who wants to start us off, who believes in what what we believe in, who understands what we understand, and wants to start by donating $5,000 for the Dar es Salaam Fund so we can fund the education of our local students here tonight. My brothers and sisters, your donation will not go far away. It will be used to fund the students right here in our backyard, right here in our community as well. I want to see if we could get a few brothers and sisters who are willing to donate that $5,000 to get us started during this blessed night in this blessed masjid and start off this fundraising. Inshallah, the brothers are going to be walking around with the donation cards, with the flyers as well. The average loan is $25,000, and that is what we're trying to do. We want to fund 6 students, but inshallah tonight we want to try to get at least a few of these students started to be fundraised as well. Can I get the first brother? Can I get the first brother who's interested? MashaAllah, takbir, takbir. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and reward you and allow this sadaqah that you've given to invest in the student who will then become a shield and a source of guidance for the community. Say Ameen. Can I get the second brother who's going to give $5,000, seeking the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who loves this religion, who is sick and tired of being sick and tired, and wants to give another $5,000 to match this brother here tonight, who can do that as well. Our brothers are going to pass around these cards. Can I get the second person right here, right now tonight, who's going to make this donation, make this change for this amazing cause and for this amazing program? Can I get the second brother right here, right now? Give for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Give to your local community. MashaAllah, second brother right there. Takbir. Takbir. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and reward you, elevate you. Allow the children to be the coolness of your eyes. Allow the students that you invested in to change the world. I mean, can we get 5 brothers who can give $1,000 each for this cause and for the sake? MashaAllah, 1, takbir. Can I get the second brother who's going to add on to what this brother just donated? And let's get 5 more brothers easily. Second brother, takbir. Allahu Akbar. Third brother, mashallah, takbir. Oh, we'll get more than 5. We'll get 10, 15, inshallah. Let's go. Okay, get the fourth brother who wants to give this amount, who understands. Mashallah, 5. Takbir. Please take it to him. Can I get the 6th brother and the 7th brother? My brothers and sisters, this is that noble cause. How is the Jewish community, how is the Pentecostal community, how is the Ahmadiyya community ahead of us in leadership? It's because they're investing in people who love their religion and are in these fields. We need a 6th brother here tonight who's going to invest at least $1,000 for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of these students, to the Dar es Salaam Fund, inshallah. Can I get the 6th brother here tonight who's going to give? We have one, 6th, takbir, right back there. You see him? MashaAllah. May Allah bless you and reward you and elevate you and increase with you. Let's get the 7th, 8th, and 9th, 10th brother, inshallah, tonight, who's going to give this cause. Another one, MashaAllah, takbir. MashaAllah, this is amazing, brother and sister. This is the blessing of Ramadan. This is the blessing of an ummah that's rising in the country and the land. Let me get the 9th brother who's going to give at least $1,000 for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to achieve the fund that we need to support these students, inshallah, here tonight. Can I get the 9th brother who's going to give for this cause and for this sake? Raise your hands high. Be counted amongst those who supported this fund in the first year. Remember, the money you give is not just going to go to one student. It's going to go to one student, they're going to pay back their loan, and then it's going to go to the next student and the next student. MashaAllah, the 9th brother, takbir. All right, and then let's get the 10th person as well. And then we'll lower it down, and then we're going to get back to our salah, inshallah. Can I get the 10th brother right here, right now, who can give the last $1,000 for this cause? Then we'll go to 500, and then we'll wrap it up. MashaAllah, takbir. May Allah bless you, reward all of you, and accept it from us. My brothers and sisters, let's get 10 brothers who are going to give $500 seeking the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tonight. And let's do it very quickly. I think 1, takbir. Let's get the second brother who's going to do it. Just raise your hand high. Second one, mashallah, takbir. All right, let's continue, guys. We have 7 more to go, and then we'll try to wrap it up, inshallah. Give whatever you can. Give it monthly, $50 a month, $100 a month. Let's get the third brother who can do it here tonight, and keep it going, inshallah. Keep it going, inshallah, as well. Okay, mashallah, takbir. May Allah reward you and bless you and increase for you as well. Oh yeah, go to the last slide, I'm sorry. My brothers and sisters, all of us right now, how many of you have these black mirrors in your phone, in your pocket? How many of you have these phones? Take out your phone right now, scan this QR code, take out your phone, Zelle this amount, give at acceducate.org. All of us, we contribute, and all of us will benefit. Inshallah, this fund is going to go from 9.5 million to 1 $100 million. Then it's going to go to $1 billion. We are going to get our community out of riba. We are going to get our community educated. Everybody, take out your phones right now. Let's see it. Scan this QR code and take advantage of these last 10 days. Take advantage of these 10 days and invest in the higher education of our communities. Can I get 5 more brothers? Then we'll end, inshallah. We've gone too long. We're going to end. 5 more brothers, and I'm going to get off the stage, inshallah. 5 more brothers are going to give $500 for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 1, mashallah. 2, mashallah. Can we get the 3, 4, and 5? 3, mashallah. May Allah bless you. Takbir. 2 more, and then we're done. 2 more, then we're done. I swear, inshallah, we're almost done. 2 more brothers who are going to raise their hand for this cause and for this sake, seeking the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here tonight. The last 2 brothers, the last 2. Let's get it happening. MashaAllah, takbir, Allahu Akbar. The brother right behind you there with the amazing though, MashaAllah, looking very stylish. Last but not least, last brother, and then we'll end our fundraiser for tonight, inshallah. MashaAllah, may Allah bless you and reward you and elevate you. Give whatever you can tonight, whether it's $1, $5, $10, $100, and you will see every year you're going to see me inshallah this masjid, and every year I'll be able to tell you how this fund is growing and the impacts it's happening. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from all of us here tonight. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless Dar es-Salam Masjid and the leadership of this community for this foresight and for their vision. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all the students who are going to benefit, and those students have a responsibility to give back to our community. Jazakullahu Khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakumullahu Khairan. May Allah reward him for coming all the way from Texas, alhamdulillah, to present this. Once again, brothers, I want to remind you, alhamdulillah, that this is a brand new initiative. Tonight, on this Mubarak night, was the first time we shared it with our community. And I hope all of you loved what we're doing. And we need, inshallah, your dua and your support. There are lots of people who are not in the masjid today from different communities who would love something like this. Because there are a lot of people who want to participate in getting the Muslims out of the pit that we find ourselves in. And I think they would really like our vision. So if you know anyone out there, an entrepreneur or a businessman or a professional or he's got a large family fund or whatnot, and says, hey, you know what? I want to uplift 10 men and women every single year from the community to be able to, alhamdulillah, educate themselves in deen and then go successfully complete their dunya, the education. Please reach out to us, and we can definitely go do this presentation. Last but not least, I want to quickly share a story. I was in Turkey 2 summers ago, not this summer, the previous summer. And I went to go visit a beautiful Ottoman madrasa, which, you know, Ottoman style, 700 years ago. Beautiful masjid, beautiful school, classrooms and whatnot. I was being given a tour by one of the main professors. And he told me the background of this madrasa was that during the Ataturk era, when they were trying to take away all remnants of Islam, they converted it into a horse stable. They converted it into what? Into a horse stable. So like, yani, make it very disgraced and lowly. Alhamdulillah, you couldn't tell that right now. It looks so beautiful. So I told them, give me a background of what this is. They said, there is one very wealthy businessman who makes candies, chocolates or whatnot, and he has a waqf. He has a big portion of his business is dedicated to uplifting the Muslim community. So he goes out and buys out and invests in these type of places and establishes schools. So what this businessman did was he established a Islamic school, a madrasa, in this dilapidated building, renovated it up, made it, mashallah, very nice. But let's listen to the rest of the story. What's going on here is they have an offer. Any Turkish student from anywhere from the villages of Turkey or cities of Turkey who's coming to Istanbul to study at university, law, engineering, medicine, whatever, they will give them free dorm in their madrasa, free food in their madrasa for as long as they study at that university. That's a lot of money, because a lot of people in Turkey, obviously they don't have the means that we have for most people. So to send their kids to college is tough enough. For food and dorm is a lot more. So the madrasa gives 5-star accommodation, food and housing. What's the catch? You have to take some evening courses here. Subhanallah. So where are we today? The professor told me, every major university in Istanbul, I can walk in and one of my students is a current professor there. Where does change come from? Schools, the universities. That's where the revival comes, or the backward effort comes from there as well. And he said, any major university, I have an associate professor, assistant professor, or full-fledged professor in any of these universities. How did it happen? These brothers came 10, 12 years ago. We gave them free food, education. We made them strong in their Islam. Number two, we sent them to Jordan over the summers to strengthen their Arabic speaking skills. We sent them to England to strengthen their English speaking skills. And those of you who visited Turkey, you know Arabic language and English language are not very well spoken there because they're very, all about Turkish language, which is fine, but I'm just saying. So now you got these young boys who are graduating, who can speak fluent English, fluent Arabic, are doing excellent outside, and alhamdulillah have studied deen at the institution. MashaAllah. Can you imagine what work they're doing there? I had this amazing feeling. When I saw that, I said, we got to do this over here. We have to bring this to America. We have to find those men and women who are on their way to Ivy League schools, professional schools, who are going to some really coveted programs. And you got to say, listen, man, we will invest in you. Just come here a little bit. Come here a little bit. We will support you on your journey. But what we want from you is that you have to study some deen. And you have to get deen in your bloodstream. And then after that, we will financially support you till you get to the finish line. Because we know that you will, inshaAllah, do a lot of khair and good for Muslims. So anyway, this is what the fund is. We hope we can raise enough money within our community to support 3-4 students, inshaAllah, every single year and even beyond that. So share this message. This has been recorded, what we just talked about. So alhamdulillah, we'll have that available if anyone is just a clip of what we talked about today. By all means, we can share this presentation, what I spoke about, and let's try our best, inshallah, to spread it across the country and across the globe, and inshallah start a revival of Islam from this end as well. Jazakumullahu Khairan for your patience, brothers and sisters. May Allah accept all those who made your intentions and all those who gave tonight. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the sadaqah jariyah. Jazakumullahu Khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.